So Dijonai Carrington and Angel Reese believes the NBA could be sitting out or going on a lockout. Which one is it? Hmm.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media. Um, so sometimes you just have to listen to people talk to understand that they do not understand the logic of business or how business operates or how negotiations take place. So Dijonai Carrington appeared on Angel Reese Unapologetic Angel podcast. And we already know these two, you've been yapping it up down in on Rival. And it seems like, Angel Reese, she wants to be the voice. She wants to take that mantle to be the voice. But to understand that, you have to understand certain principles. This is why Neko Umake and Kelsey Plum, they are on the board. But you never hear them talk about what is going on with the CBA. You never hear them threaten to say it's going to be a lockout or a strike. Now, for one, you have to understand the difference between a strike and a lockout. The owners can lock you out if they don't come to some sort of agreement. And that means if you don't come to the terms that they want, even though y'all want certain demands, that means that at the end of the day, the owners have to agree to the demands, and it has to give and take. If the owners doesn't agree with it, so you know what, hey, we're gonna lock out. Now, a lot of people know what strike is. A lot of companies have unions, used to have unions, and if players didn't get certain things, or I mean not players, but workers didn't get certain things, or was treated fairly, guess what happened? The workers forced a work stoppage, and they strike. They picket and stuff like that. So apparently, Angel Reese and Dijonai Carrington don't know the difference between the two, because apparently Dijonai Carrington is in these meetings, and apparently she does not understand anything. And that's why it's good to learn how to go into business understanding business. But when you just running off at the mouth because you just hear a few things and you don't get the fully understanding of it, it makes you look like a fool. It makes you look like an idiot. If you don't believe me, take a look.
Yeah, the CBA is coming up. I can't wait.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more. Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we got to get faced the consequences.
Y'all got to deal with something.
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract again. Mm-hmm. The ones the year after, they're going to get more. They probably going to be making more than us.
Oh, they are.
I'm hurt.
They are. Yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
I need to get in the meetings.
You need to come to the meetings.
I got to get in the meetings because I'm hearing they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, for real. And then the thing about it is, DJ say youngins. Well, Angel Reese 22, you 27. You only 5 years older than her. I mean, if you look at the current NBA salary for 2025 versus the 2024 stats, goes on a stats, the highest paid right now is Ricky Omawale, Jewel Lord, Kelsey Mitchell, and who else? That's it. They're making over 249. So, and Kelsey Mitchell was court. Drew Lloyd was court. So therefore, Sabrina Ionescu's not making that much. Satu's not making that much. Kelsey Plum's not making that much. Brittany Griner's not making that much. Natasha Howard is not making that much. Kalia Copper is making 248. Aja Wilson going into this year is only making 200,000. So when they go in there and say, well, we want more money, you have to understand what that's going to take. Because when the WNBA has been in a hole for so long, it's going to take a lot to break even. There will be some sort of benefits for them. They might be a pay increase, but it won't be the significant amount that they think it's going to be. Yeah, the Juju Watkins them, that Hannah Hidalgo, when they come out of college, yeah, they pay raises gonna be up, but to have the negotiation now is that to have all the rookie deals to be on one tier, that means bumping up this year's, last year's rookie class, before this rookie class come in. Now they do have to the end of the season before they go into the 2026 season to get this deal done. But I don't think though. See, the main thing is half of them can't afford to be in a lockout. They can't, because a lot of them don't go overseas to play. Dijonai Carrington literally said she went overseas for 3 months and couldn't hack it, had to come back to the States. So if you can't make it over there and you relying on this, you playing an on Rival, which on Rival, if y'all decide to lock out, how many weeks you think on Rival is going to go? They're not going to go no more than 10 weeks. And guess what? By the time the start of the 2026 season, if the league doesn't start on time, then guess what? That little bit of money that y'all making from on Rival is going to be enough to pay what you need to pay. And then that's it. Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Breonna Stewart, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, a few other. There's 6 off the top of my head that could pretty much don't have to worry about it because they get endorsements outside of the league, and they will be fine. The majority of them that they can't sit out. Because the fact of the matter is, they have these extravagant lifestyle, and I'm sure none of them doesn't even invest their money. I'm sure a lot of them do not know how to budget. You see how they dress coming to games, like it's a Vanity Fair runway. These are the things that when they sit down and negotiate with the owners and talk to the owners, say, hey, this is what we want. The owners could say, okay, we can meet you half the way, but we cannot give you everything because y'all still owe us money. Until we break even, then we could come back to the table and say, hey, let's renegotiate. But right now, with all the momentum that these ladies have in the league for this year, right now, for all the momentum that they have, it could just be wiped away. Because guess what? You wouldn't even have this momentum if it wasn't for the likes of Caitlin Clark. And you think about this. You sign all of these TV deals, and you think going into the 2026 season, especially if you come off another historic 2025 season, and if the Indiana Fever or Caitlin Clark was to make it to the finals, you think a lockout is going to happen? Me personally, I think the onus is going to come to some kind of agreement with them. I think neck of them knows that they can't get everything they want, and it's not going to be easy to get everything they want. And they know that some of them can't afford to lock out, because if they lock out, guess what's going to happen? A lot of these women is going to suffer. And a lot of them don't, they talking. A lot of them just talk. They ain't about action. They're not about action. You know why? Because they too scared. And my thing is, why would you go on a podcast and say this out loud anyway? You know, why are you talking about what's going on into these meetings? Why are you talking about what's going on into or what y'all plans on to doing? Because as soon as Angel Reese brought the comment up, Dijonai Carrington just sat there and laughed. You know what I'm saying? It's just her way of thinking is so asinine. You know, for her to have some whatever college degree she got from Stanford, she excuse me, she need to brush up. See, the person that you really need to have in these meetings, to me, now a lot of people say, well, you need to have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in there. Me personally, you just need Caitlin Clark in these meetings. Angel Reese will go in there and she'll start running her mouth, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. She'll start going running her mouth, and the owners will be turned off by that. They'll be pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll talk like she knows what she's talking about. If you have somebody like, if this is what I think Nneka and Kelsey Plum would be smart to say, offer Caitlin Clark a seat at the board and say, hey, look, you have the power to talk to these owners. You have the cachet. We wouldn't be where we at right now, if it wasn't for what you brought to the table. Have Caitlin Clark sit in these meetings and have her let her be the voice and say, hey, this is what I think we should get right here. My thing is, get a little bit at a time, not trying to get everything at once. Say, okay, we'll take this now at this CBA. Then whatever the next CBA deal is, 5 or 6 years down the line, say, okay, let's renegotiate again. By that time, Caitlin Clark will probably be on the board. She'd probably be president, because just like how Chris Paul represent, well, it was Chris Paul, I think it's somebody else now, for the players in the NBA. They was able to negotiate all of these, most of these deals, get these supermax deals and all of that stuff. But the WNBA is nowhere near the NBA level, because, like I said, they already in a negative light, or negative financial situation when it comes down to the NBA. So they have to the more they generate dollars and more money for them, because long as they keep going with this negativity, this anti-justice stuff they doing and turning fans off, they're gonna continue to lose money. And despite the growing popularity and the boom that they had last year, they still was minus $40 to $50 million in the hole. They're probably gonna be in the hole again this year. Despite what's going to take. Caitlin Clark can't do it by herself. And this is why these ladies have to step up and change their mindset in the way they're thinking. Because long as they have that victim mentality, that negative mindset in their head, the owners is not going to take them seriously. Nobody's going to take them seriously. They need to change the way they're thinking about this whole situation, because it could backfire to them if they go in there trying to strong on these owners. You got to think about owners. They got money. They're not going to be hurting for nothing. And you think about like how in the NFL is, them owners got money. They get you, they rope you in, or whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, it's what it is. But I don't think Dijonai Carrington or Angel Reese should be the ones that need to be talking. Nneka needs to be talking. She needs to be out there. You haven't heard her in a whole while, because they waiting. And negotiate, like I said, the negotiation could go on all the way to the end of the season, into the off season. That doesn't mean a deal gonna get done. all it means is that they talking. Here's some stuff that I had outlined earlier about what the CBA is about. So the most recent lockout in the major, and this right here is that when the last lockout for major sports happened. This does not include the WNBA, but this is around the major four sports. And the most recent lockout in the major professional sport was in 2021-2022, Major League Baseball lockout, which began in December 2021 and ended in March 2022. That was 99 days. You think about this. You think that the WNBA could last 99 days? No, I don't think so either. And then it said, here's more detail about the breakdown. There's the dates, sport, and the reason. The lockout occurred after a expiration of the 2016 collective bargaining agreement between the league and the Major League Baseball Players Association, and the failure to reach a new deal. Issues was about compensation for young players and limitations on tanking to receive higher selections in the Major League Baseball draft were among the issues raised between the league and the union. The duration of the last 99 days, and the lockout ended with a signing of a new collective bargaining agreement. Now, that was the last major sport lockout. So you think about this. There's 44 games in the league. If the television the companies lose money because Caitlin Clark is not playing on TV, it's going to be bad for the NBA owners that's own some of these teams. That's why I say there's not going to be a lockout. They're going to agree to something. They're going to agree to something that's going to be beneficial on both sides. And the owners could say, hey, y'all need to stop this. If we give you this, y'all need to come to the table. What y'all need to do is go to the league and promote a better, positive league without the racism in it. Uplift these players. Stop all of this stuff that y'all doing. Only thing y'all doing is hurting yourselves. If the owners go to the table and tell them that they want this league to be changed in a whole different light, more positively, without the negativity, the ladies could probably get more they would want. And then to say, hey, y'all need to highlight more of this. Y'all need to highlight more of that, instead of all the negativity. Because once they make this deal, once the players make this deal and they don't live up to the expectation of the new deal, it's going to be harder the next time around to get anything that you want. It's just what it is. It's the nature of business. Big business companies do this all the time. Even with a business merger, they do this. I remember the time when Sprint and T-Mobile was merging, and they were supposed to merge, and the merger fell apart. And then a lot of people thought it was not going to happen. And guess what? Eventually, they came back to the table, and they got it done. Unfortunately, there's no more Sprint. Business is very complex if you don't understand the language or the lineage that's in the agreement, or how it's breakdown, or how it's going to affect you from short term to long term. And these women in the WNBA, they really need to take business classes. They need better PR. They need to have better managers that can advise them, hey, you don't need to be talking. You need to chill out going on these podcasts. Because you could tell they talk with so much recklessness, and the recklessness that is going to cause them in the later down the line, to be honest with you. So that's my take on it. I wanted to wait to do it because I felt like I had to sit down with it, because I have seen this stuff in sports happen again. But these women don't understand what it's going to take for them to minorly get some of the stuff. Do they deserve to get paid? Yeah, I do believe they deserve to get paid, but not at the astounding amount of what the NBA players making. They're making millions. They have not did anything close to garner to make millions for the league. So how you gonna get paid $1 million on a contract when you have not really generated millions and millions of dollars for your league over 20 something years? It doesn't make sense. So, like I said, I think if I was the owner, I would tell Mecca and his men, I said, look, I understand y'all for women's rights or whatever the case may be, but this is the deal. We need to change how the league is being viewed. The league is being viewed bad by fans. Y'all wanted more fans to the game, but y'all drive them away because y'all want to continue with the negativity. You know, like the Dijonai Carringtons, the Alyssa Thomas, the Natasha Clouds, all of them, they want to promote all of this stuff. If you want to get paid, these players y'all need to promote something better. Y'all need to focus on something different, because if they don't agree on it and they continue the same thing, like I said before, it's going to cost them in the long run. It's going to be even harder to get what they want. And like I said before, I do believe Necadum, if they really want to get something done, they need to have Caitlin Clark at the seat of the table, point blank period. Caitlin Clark has a marketing, she has a strategy, a degree, and she knows business. Look how she operates her business outside of the W. Same thing with Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know if she's on the board or not, but these are the type of people that you need to have to talk more about what the league needs to be looking at, how the league needs to change in a better direction. You don't need somebody like Dijonai Carrington, you know, running off at the mouth. You don't need somebody like an Asia Wilson. You don't need somebody like Angel Reese, because all that they're gonna do is go in there with this victimhood mentality, and it's gonna piss the owners off, and the owners gonna say, you know what, hey, nah, we ain't doing nothing. Because if they go in there thinking that way, and the owners say, well, guess what, we ain't got to start the league. Watch how many of them fold and say, we'll just take the deal. You know how I know? Because go back to when Kaepernick was standing up for social justice and all of that stuff, kneeling and all of that thing. Guess what happened? The Players Association was supposed to be behind Kaepernick. But guess what they did? As soon as the owners gave them whatever deal it was, they took it. They took the money and ran with it instead of say, nah, we want to put it towards this or whatever the case may be. But Kaepernick never came back into the league. He tried, and he never got back in the league. The owners in the W of some of these teams is going to look at this and say, we don't want this. We don't want this negative impact. And if these ladies don't want to comply with that and they lock them out, guess what's going to happen? These ladies are going to lose not millions, but they're going to lose a little bit of money that they are getting. And depends on how many players decide to sit out. Guess what they could do? They could bring players from overseas. They could bring players from overseas and have them replace them. And guess what's going to happen? The league will continue to go, because then they don't have to worry about it, and they still could continue to negotiate the deal. So that's my take on it. Y'all let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.